What is going on, folks? And folks around us, I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. Welcome to my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. If you are someone that's fairly new to the channel, continue to get an idea what this channel is about by going to my playlist. And when you see the playlist, click on those different things that I do on there. You know, there's a lot of stuff on there, folks. So anyway, check it out. And I know many people are not in here yet, which does not matter. I just wanted to get this news out there real quick, but double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so it can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. So I wanted to go ahead and jump right into this story right here, folks, because it kind of goes along the lines of when I just got done doing a video yesterday with on Chuck Schumer. So Disney employees have been fired, and they're actually going to come back and try to sue the company over alleged religious discrimination. And they said, you know, in a nutshell, that Disney thinks that they are above the law. So it says former Florida Disney employees Barbara Andreas and Stephen Cribb are suing the entertainment giant, citing allegations of religious discrimination after their COVID-19 vaccine and mask exemptions were pretty much glossed over. And now Andreas said, "I wish I could say that Disney responded to my exemption request with diversity and inclusion like they preach, but unfortunately, we were met with a lot of silence, a lot of backlash, a lot of retaliation," Andreas told Fox News' Carly Schickmas on Tuesday. So already, this whole thing that Disney was pushing out, especially their CEO. Remember when he came out the video talking about how they are about diversity and equity and inclusion, and how he was an advocate for, or no, he was an ally. He was an ally for the LGBT biggest things that they say that people don't show towards them. Then here they are not showing no tolerance towards people that might be of a certain faith where they actually don't believe in getting vaccinations, et cetera, et cetera. Right. So this is Andreas, who served as guest experience manager at the ESPN Sports Complex during her time with Disney, expounded on the controversy along with Cribb and attorney Carol Sanders. Says, "I personally did an early interrogation call after I submitted my religious belief in writing, and since then it was met with silence," she added, telling viewers she carefully followed company guidelines and made sure to answer all companies' overbearing questions. So a lot of you guys may not know this, but if you don't get vaccinated and you have a religious exemption the company takes in, typically what you do is you let them know that I would abide by any accommodation that the job will provide to me, such as testing twice a week, a certain amount of feet within the resident or patient, is what they tell us. Now, I don't work for Disney, so I don't know what all entails with Disney's stipulations or whatever it may have you. But I do know that if you don't have the vaccination in a lot of jobs, they do have a thing to where you just have to do weekly testing, you know, and the way that it really works is so long that the job doesn't have to like do anything that will cause a job to operate like it typically wouldn't. So let me give you an example. If they take your religious exemption in, but they have to change the way that the job operates to accommodate you to where it would kind of pretty much inflict any type of setbacks or cause loss of productivity or loss of wages on the job, then they can deny your religious exemption based on that. But they cannot deny your religious exemption based on the fact that it's just a religious exemption. If what they're doing on the job is not, you know, inhibiting any type of job performance or anything like that, then they're supposed to accept your religious exemption, period. A lot of people don't know that. So it says, Andrea says she was also called out by the general manager of her living complex for not having taken the jab and called her treatment unfair. So this is where I come in at, folks, and I tell people all the time that if you have any place that you work at, any job that you're on right now, and you're not vaccinated, and they try to, what she said, call you out, I will put it right back in their face. See, that's why I keep telling people, man, y'all, you know, you have to get to a point to where if you really stand up for your rights and all that, don't just stand up for your rights and right, you know what, calling me out, then guess what? I'm going to fire right back at them. Yes, I will. I'm not believed by just putting it in. Right now, that's what I'm saying. Nobody in any of the facilities that I travel to and go and treat patients in, no one in those facilities has ever come at me and any kind of way for not being vaccinated. I let people know that I'm not vaccinated, and I let them know with a crown. I have no problem with it whatsoever. I have a lot of jobs that inquire my services that want me to come onto their team. They want me to do some people work for them and, possibly travel here or travel there. And I let them know right from the jump, hey, before we get further into this interview, I just want to know, does this place require you to have a vaccination? With that, but we know, you guys know by now if this place is taking religious exemptions or not. So when she made the comment in here and she said that the GM called her out, and not saying that she's not right about that, but what does call out mean? I mean, what do? Go around and tell everybody, oh, y'all, I want to let y'all know Andrea's not vaccinated. I want y'all to let y'all know that Ty's not vaccinated. And if Ty got these symptoms or anything, no, not at all. So I can care less if anybody try to do anything. No, I don't have vaccination, so I don't turn in. I need to show it in D2, just own. Sharing that the company's human resource department reached out to him and refused to speak once he asked if his attorney can be present. Says, as many times as I've reached out to them and told them I'd be happy to have the conversation with my attorney present, they refused to speak with me, he said. Attorney Carol Sanders, a representative for former employees, said he and his colleague received the same silence Crib and Andreas received when reaching out to Disney for comment. Yeah, because they know that they're wrong. Here's my thing, folks. This is why I want to really get to the nitty gritty of this right here. Is this. Knowing what we know right now, even me, the fact that I was sitting there getting kicked off of YouTube, I was getting banned for a week, a year and a half ago, for constantly saying that I don't care what they tell you guys, no one can tell us right now whether you will be able to be contagious or whether you will not be able to be contagious with this vaccination that's never been tested. I said that. I was sitting here getting banning me for a week here, banning me for a week there, because I was telling people, because it is an emergency use authorization and that the vaccination itself has not been tested over the course of so many years, you do not know if you will still be able to be contagious with this. And YouTube was banning me over saying that right there, which I didn't understand, because how would YouTube ban me over something that we don't even know yet? You know what I mean? Something new comes on, we don't know yet. I read it off verbatim that they give to medical care, that it said we have no idea pretty much how this vaccination will react with any medications that you're taking. They don't know how this vaccination is going to react with any other vaccination that you've taken. Heck, they don't even know if it's going to react well with soda. I was telling you guys that, right? So I have nothing against anybody that got the vaccination. Let me make that clear, okay? Not at all. You feel what's right for you. Follow the CDC guidelines and the WHO. But so what I'm saying all that in a nutshell is this. When it came to Disney and what they're doing right now, any workplace right now, I have no way how they would even be able to try to justify why you should get the vaccination right now, knowing that you still can get COVID again, knowing that you still can spread COVID should you contract COVID. So then I asked the question, then why are you trying to make it a mandatory thing? Why are you trying to require anyone to be vaccinated on any job right now, knowing those things that I just named off? You can contract COVID again, whether you're fully boosted or whatever. That's not a lie, YouTube. You can't fact check me on that. The WHO has it on theirs, and so does CDC. YouTube, yes, you can contract COVID again after being vaccinated. Yes, YouTube, you can become contagious with the vaccination, YouTube. That is a fact. So they cannot ban me for that. But oh my God, a year and a half ago, they were banning me left and right for saying that, okay? So anyway, now you have to ask the question, what is the point? What is the point? When it all comes down to it, it's all about, if you don't do what we want you to do, then you're not going to be able to come in our house, pretty much. If you don't do what we want you to do, you're not going to be able to come in our house. Well, why do I need to do that if it's going to be of none effect? All because we want to know that if you're going to be a person that's just going to do nothing more than to comply. I mean, right now at this point, that's all it comes down to. Track the code. You still can pass a code on to someone else. So can you imagine right now if they told you, if you don't go and keep on taking vitamin C year round and show us proof that you are constantly taking vitamin C and elderberry to keep your immune system boosted, then you're not going to be able to work here. When all along you still can get a code, you still can contract a code, and you still can become contagious and pass a code on. So that's what I'm saying. So now the question comes down to it. Any job right now, I don't care what it is right now, any job right now that is trying to make the vaccination mandatory, I would want it in writing. Why? Because we all know right now that according to the WHO, YouTube, and according to the CDC, The biggest thing is when you get the vaccination, the WHO and the CDC says that it will make your symptoms mild. So if that's pretty much what it will do in a nutshell, it won't keep you from contracting it. It won't keep you from spreading it, but it will make your symptoms mild. This is what the WHO and the CDC said. So I'm naming off what they said, YouTube. I'm naming off what the WHO and the CDC said. So can't block me on this one. Okay, so with that all in mind, you're telling me that I can't be hired onto this job, or you're telling me that I might not be able to have a job, all because I'm choosing somebody to get hired on a job because you want them to get the vaccination and be boosted, fully vaccinated with all the current booster shots, et cetera, et cetera. Your reasoning behind all that is so they won't have severe symptoms, or better yet, the reason why we want you to get this vaccination is because should you contract COVID, we want you to have mild symptoms. Does that make sense to you guys? That's pretty much what it all comes down to. So again, to me, most of all the places that I go to, any place that I work at right now, that I go and I treat patients in, all for discrimination against my own religious beliefs. Now, all this talk and all these folks that was doing all this crazy, when you go in there around, you guys were calling me heroes. You guys were calling medical professional heroes because you guys was like, you guys are putting your lives in danger by going into these places and putting yourself around people that, you're working with COVID patients, you're putting your lives in danger. Then when the vaccination, the EUA came out, the emergency use authorization for this tested vaccination came out, all of a sudden, you guys flipped the script. Oh, you could be putting your patients in danger, Ty. You could be putting your grandma in danger. I can't believe you might be doing something like this to your family. Now you know that whether you have the vaccination or not, you still can contract it and you still can spread it. Now, what do you say? Where are all the virtue signalers at who are doing all this talking about putting grandma in? All y'all at right now? Yeah, I didn't think so. Anyway, folks, I just want to put that out there. I might put some up here a little later. And don't forget to get the video a thumbs up so it can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. And we'll hit on a few more topics here as the day progresses, because I did get a few emails from you guys about some other things that I might want to hit on too, especially another school board meeting thing that I said and what he demonstrated at this school board meeting. So again, I appreciate you guys all being in here. Hope you guys are having a good morning. Take some time to get outside and just don't look at anything media related. Go outside and just sit for a minute, just contemplate. Just go out there and just stare at the sun. There's not I don't mean stare at the sun, look at the sky. Just go out and just take some time away, breathe, and just think this morning, okay? Go outside and take about a good 10 deep breaths, and just think. Seriously, go outside and take a few minutes just to sit and think. 10, 15 minutes, just go out there and do it. Put your phone down, go outside and just breathe, okay? Let your mind just kind of, all right? So again, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. And if you would, please share this video with friends and family, all right? All right, folks, so you know how I always end my videos. I'm Ty Smith, my Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I hope and pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.